So hi guys, this is Yash Narula, head of the Department for Security. So welcome to Meraki's first pre-event in collaboration with the Publications Department of our college. We would be coming up with these fun events every month for the pupils of KPM as well. So we could connect and actually know our fellow college mates. The name of our first pre-event is Alternative Redition. I hope you all have a rough idea about the rules and the game. I will repeat them once again for you. You will have to fill out three choices to avoid clashes with other participants that you have already done. You will get 5 to 6 minutes to be precise to sell your version of the ending. And I request all of you to please not unmute while some participant is speaking or for any reason until I, the host, asks you to. And for just a lovely prize, if the people like your part of the ending better, so you may get a chance to get published in the Sol Chronicles and maybe on Meraki's YouTube channel too. So we'll be getting on with the first participant. So we'll go with Khushi Sharma. Rain. That's a second preference, I suppose. So Khushi.
Yes, but she loved the original, so she's going with that. She literally forced me that I have to speak about that. Yeah, Khushi, go ahead.
Yeah, so go ahead.
So hello, good evening, everyone. So the Originals is a series about the original vampires. The whole series is a family drama and includes a lot of vampires, which is hybrids. Hybrids is a like creature who is half vampire and half. So the ending which the originals has is that Klaus Michelson and Elijah Michelson, they both are brothers, and they commit suicide for Klaus's daughter Hope Michelson, and Hope's mother, Haley Marshall, also gets killed by a vampire. The thing I would like to change in the ending is that two vampires, Greta and Roman, kidnap Haley, and they murders, like she commits suicide by killing Greta, who was forcing Hope Michelson to be a vampire and to suppress her werewolf side. So Haley, in the effort of trying to save her daughter, committed suicide with Greta, and they both died. So the part I would like to change is that when Haley was a hybrid and Greta suppressed her werewolf side, so I would like to change in that to like when she was she's going to suppress, Greta is going to suppress the Haley's werewolf side. So Faria, the sister of Klaus, comes and she saves them all. And Haley Marshall does not die, and Klaus Michelson and Elijah, none of them dies. The Hope has a very dark magic inside her. So Klaus takes that magic. Klaus and Haley went with Hope to take her out, and she was going to change her like herself into werewolf for the first time. So they went for that transition, and during that time, with the help of two witches, Klaus takes that magic, dark magic out of her and put it in himself. And after that, he decides to give his whole family the cure of vampirism. So in the end, the whole original family of vampires gets cured and they all become human. And Haley gets married to Elijah, and they both are alive and living a happy life together. Hope is in her school, and Faria and her girlfriend also get married and they live. Cole, another brother of Klaus, he and his girlfriend are also human and they are living together. Her wife is a witch. And Klaus still commits suicide because for her daughter and to protect her. So he was the strongest creature in the world, and he commits suicide for the person he loved the most in the world. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, that was a lovely ending, I suppose. But why do you want to change it? I want to know the reason.
Yeah, because I feel that Haley died, like it was not justified. Haley dying and Elijah. Elijah just died because he was the one because of whom Haley died, and he never had anything else like left. He have always wanted his whole life that Klaus have a good heart and he does something for someone else except for himself. So in the end, like I believe that Klaus was very powerful and nothing is more justified than he killing himself. So in the end, he should die by killing himself. Like no one is more capable of killing him. I loved him, so he shouldn't die by the hand of any other person. So he dies for himself. And like Elijah and Haley, they both loved each other, so they should have ended up together. And Hope should have parents alive. Like she had never had a family because of a lot of drama in the family and a lot of problems, and mostly because of her, to protect her, her family was away from her, so she deserves a good family. She couldn't have a father, so at least a mother should be there for her. So yes.
Okay, so I've never really streamed the show, but I will surely do now. So I would like to
please, it's a very nice show.
Yeah, now I will. So I would really like to go to the audience if they had any suggestions other than this, what she had to speak. Please go for the chat box.
The audience is literally crying because they got the spoiler. Everyone is crying, Klaus dies.
Thank
but
you,
I love Khushi loves happy ending. I love sad ending.
Oh.
Yeah, that was horrible. I mean, Elijah, like Hope was left alone. Like she did not have anyone, no father, no mother. So that's really bad.
But I feel sad ending leaves an impact on you. You remember that show more than the show that gave the happy ending.
But Klaus dies. I mean, no one likes Klaus dies. So Klaus died, but Elijah died for nothing, and Haley, I think that they should have happy ending.
True, I agree.
Okay. So, thank you, Khushi. We'll be moving on to the next participant. That is Anika Chautani for How I Met Your Mother.
Yes. Hi. Can you see me?
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
So first of all, I'd just like to apologize pehle, because I feel like I'll just use some slang or something in between. So okay, I'm sorry.
Limited to some lesser slangs, I suppose.
Yeah, I'll try, but it just comes out sometimes. So How I Met Your Mother. How I Met Your Mother is an American sitcom which aired from 2005 to 2014. It has 9 seasons. And first of all, let me start by appreciating it a bit. It is one of the best sitcoms by far I've watched. And I've rewatched like every season of it except for 9th, because I just don't like it. I just don't like the ending. So the show has 5 main characters, which, mind you, does not include the mother. That's the main thing, like the irony. So the show has characters, that is Ted Mosby, Barney Stinson, Robin, Lily, and Marshall. So about the characters, Ted is our narrator, and the story is set like in 2030, where Ted is explaining to his kids, like telling the whole story of how he met their mother. Next is Barney Stinson. He is Ted's apparently best friend, and he's a serial playboy and like a womanizer and stuff. He is a filthy rich guy. So next is Marshall. He is Ted's actual best friend and Lily's soulmate. So next is Robin, which is the love interest of Ted, and she is like a news anchor from Canada. And the next is Lily, who is Marshall's soulmate and one of the best friends of Ted. The next and finally it's Tracy, who is the actual wife, who's the mother. So about the ending, it's just one word, dude. I just don't like it. I just feel betrayed because 7-8 seasons they just had this mystery key who's the mother, and then they just kill the person. Like, how even? But to be fair, I was fine. Like, I predicted it. Ki mother is no more. Tabhi he's telling itna lamba story. But I just didn't like the angle of Ted and Robin together. They were so bad. They were like not at all on the same page and all. And I just don't know. And the worst thing about this ending is what they did to Barney. Like his whole character development and growth was just thrown out of the window. It was just, he was back to square one, being all that filthy rich guy who's just womanizer and serializing women. So yeah, I just didn't like it at all. But like, okay, it was a good end, kind of, but it just did not fit the story. I mean, it was a very good story, a good end, but it just did not fit together. So what I wanted, like, for as a good ending was um that when Ted was dictating this whole story, he should have ended with saying that, okay, kids, so that's how I met your mother. Now let's go, and or else we'll get late. So Ted, Penny, Luke, and the mother are in the hospital. Tracy is still very much sick, and they're like just having a good family time together. That okay. And Bahar, like in the lobby, they have Barney and Robin still very much together because Robin is the perfect suit for Barney. I mean, come on. And of course, Lily and Marshall together. They are just there for like comforting Ted if he comes out. So that's it. And the screen goes blank.
Okay, that was a good ending. But why did you choose this ending? I'll like to know.
Dude, I just hated that Barney and Robin were like divorced. Like, dude, the whole 9th season was based on how they were getting married. And end me, they just got divorced out of a sudden. That's just not right.
I think Barney had a huge impact on every viewer who watched How I Met Your Mother.
Yes.
So,
This
yeah.
character development was so frequent.
Yeah, it was. So I'll go back to the audience. So how do you like her part of the ending, or do you like the original one better?
पहले तो I agree with Anika. Just that कि I love Panika. I love Panika, that part of ending.
Come on, yeah, he's Barney. Everyone loves it.
He was with her daughter, no? That daughter. It made sense कि now he has some purpose in life. But still यार वो लोग बार्नी और रॉबिन की जिस एपिसोड में शादी कराते उसमें ही डिवोर्स करा देते.
Exactly. What is the point?
Exactly. There was so much hype. I loved it, and the proposal and everything, and उसमें divorce करवा देता.
And
I
lastly, they
hated
made
that.
Barney the villain. Ki like, okay, he's back to square one.
Exactly. True.
Yeah, Aryaman got a question.
Yeah, what is it?
Okay.
Right?
Guys,
Yes, I guess Ambika is raising hand. She wants
Sasha,
to
the
say
host,
something.
Yeah, I want to add something. So yeah, How I Met Your Mother was a show which always gave me a silver lining. And there was a dialogue in that in which Ted said, no matter how tightly you hold on to past and it's already gone. And then at the end of the show, he was still holding on to the past, to Robin. He was not ready to let her go. This is
That's amazing observation.
For sure.
But Robin was worth the effort, I suppose.
Robin was worthy, but I liked the friendship of Ted and Robin rather than their romantic relationship.
True,
I think
true.
their friendship was more beautiful.
Robin was beautiful. So.
Yeah, she was.
They always got back together because of their loneliness, not because they actually were compatible.
Exactly.
Yeah,
okay. They had beautiful dialogues.
Yeah,
they were similar to Ross and Rachel from Friends. Even there also.
Yes.
Actually, Barney was a mixture of
Ross and Rachel had a beautiful ending. They did not.
So nobody here is a blue French on team.
No, Chandrendra, you only love the ending of How I Met Your Mother.
I didn't say
no. I
didn't say I liked it. I just said exactly. Yeah, I didn't say that I liked it. I just said that I didn't hate it as much as I do. But yeah, Anika's had some pretty good points that she's put forward, and I think that now that I think it that way, I think that is a little true about the Barney character arc. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. That is true.
Yeah, she wanted to make Barney. She wanted to make
even Ghazal agrees to what I'm saying.
You know, how many of you felt sad for Barney when Robin broke up with him?
For sure.
Just hype up the chat box a bit. Me, okay, Naina. Okay, now we are getting all the answers for Barney. So, Barney, you rock, bro. So we'll go with the next participant now.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Anika. Ariman Roy for Game of Thrones. Are you here?
Yes, I'm here. I hope I'm audible. Okay, thank you for highlighting me. So first of all, I just want to show that I'm wearing a Game of Thrones t-shirt right now, which only proves that how big of a fan I am for Game of Thrones. And when season 8 happened, I was personally offended. I became depressed for a week because why would you create 7 amazing seasons and then mess everything up in the 8th season? And personally, I didn't sim for Daenerys Stormborn of House Targaryen, the rightful queen of the Andals and the First Men, the breaker of chains and mother of dragons for 7 seasons straight, only to have her get killed by her brother or nephew and lover at the same time, apparently, in the most unclimatic way, which is why I just want to change the entire season 8 plot. So first of all, I'd like to begin with the starting point. Cersei sends her golden army to Winterfell. Yes, she sends the golden army to Winterfell, but the golden army has a hidden motive. They have to kill Daenerys in her sleep and kidnap the Lannister brothers back and bring them back to Winterfell along with Jorah Mormont. So when the entire ensemble happens in Winterfell, where the Targaryens, the Starks, and the Lannisters, mostly Tyrion and Jaime, have arrived, they all have a meeting and they're all going back to sleep. But guess what? In the Golden Army, there's a secret spy. That spy is Dario Naharis. He makes his way back from the Essos to appeal to Daenerys' emotions to take him back again. And he tells Daenerys that the plot, Cersei's plan is actually to kill you in your sleep. Daenerys goes out, and Jon takes her out to rescue her. But guess what? They are surrounded by the Golden Army and a huge battle starts right there and there. Daenerys goes on Drogon, Jon is on Rhaegal, and they start to have a fight. The Clegane brothers, the Mountain and the Hound, they start battling it out against each other. Here, the Mountain is about to kill the Hound, but guess what? Our favorite assassin, Arya Stark, comes in and she kills the Mountain, thus finally completing her list. Finally, someone doing justice to her character also. And then in the process of it, Arya gets injured. And then when the dust settles, guess what? Jaime and Tyrion have been kidnapped along with Jorah Mormont and Missandei. And Euron Greyjoy is waiting with his fleet of ships to take them back to King's Landing. After the dust settles, Daenerys realizes that she has lost her hand and also one of her closest friends. And she does one thing, she goes on Drogon and sets sail for King's Landing. At the same time, Jon gets wind of the fact that the Night King is approaching and he goes to Bran to figure out what to do. Bran tells him that he's in fact a Targaryen. And Jon goes like, why, how do you know this? And then Bran tells him his power. Then Jon asks him, like, do you know a way to kill the Night King? So Bran goes, okay, fine. I need some time. You take me to Dorne where all this began, where Jon was born. So Jon on Rhaegal takes Bran back to Dorne and keeps him there. All this while it's happening, so Winterfell is left unarmed. Arya is recovering there and Sansa is there. She's managing everything. But back to King's Landing. What happened was Cersei's backup plan was, if the plan fails, she needed Jorah and Missandei to lure Daenerys in. What she had done is that she had set clutches of wildfire in the entire city and she wanted to burn King's Landing alive along with Daenerys and her closest friends. She was in turn becoming the Mad King. She just wanted to have one final interaction with Jaime, one final goodbye. But when she tells Jaime about this, Jaime has an epiphany. Last time he killed the Mad King because of the same reason. And now his sister and his lover, apparently that's a common theme across Game of Thrones, is trying to kill everyone. So Jaime kills Cersei and in pain kills himself. They both came together and at the same time, they both died together. That's where Cersei's chapter ends. But before it could all happen, Euron Greyjoy, being the most irritating character, kills Missandei and Jorah in front of Daenerys. Daenerys loses her shit. She goes crazy and she's destroying King's Landing left, right, and center. She destroys the entire Iron Fleet and at the same time, half of King's Landing. But when again the dust settles, she's walking her way to the throne. But guess what? Winter has come. The scene suddenly shifts from sunlight to the shadows and snow. It all becomes very cold. The Night King has arrived at Winterfell. And while all this was happening, Jon was there in Dorne with Bran, and he was there with Rhaegal. And Bran sort of went back in time. He went back in time because he had the power to actually morph himself as a person and travel across time. And there, guess what? Bran is the Night King. When Bran went back in time, people captured him and made him the Night King. So the Night King is just an alter ego of Brandon Stark. And Bran, when he realizes this, he gets stuck in his dream. And again, the scene changes. From sunlight, it becomes to darkness and cold. Jon has realized that the Night King has arrived in Winterfell, and there's no one to guard Winterfell. So when both Daenerys and Jon go back to Winterfell, they see that Night King has arrived and he has destroyed Winterfell with Viserion. The battle of the dragon begins, but the Night King is just way too powerful for both of them. And in the process, Daenerys gets injured. Sorry? Yeah, Daenerys gets injured, and Jon realizes that the battle has lost. He just carries his brother Sansa and an injured Arya, a Tyrion who Daenerys rescued back in King's Landing and all, and they just go back to Dawn when Bran is kept safe. Winterfell is ruined, King's Landing is ruined. The entire Westeros is going to get ruined if they don't come up with a solution. But when they go back in Dawn, they see that Daenerys is screaming in pain. She's just agonizing, she's shouting. And when they bring her to Dawn, they settle down, they realize that Daenerys is in fact pregnant and she's having a baby with Jon Snow. That is when they realize that they must stop Night King at all. But Night King has arrived. Night King has followed them there. And again, the battle of dragons begins. But Jon is losing it. He's just not able to get an advantage. Sansa and Tyrion, they both sort of put their minds together and they make the conclusion that in fact Brandon is the Night King. And hence the only way to stop Brandon is to kill. The only way to stop Night King is to kill Brandon. So Arya, despite all of her, whatever she was feeling, she just put her emotions aside and then she kills Brandon Stark. At the end of the day, Night King explodes into thousands of pieces. And then the scene ends there. Up 10 years later, we see a young girl fighting it out with knives and swords with the other warlords in King's Landing. King's Landing is being built, and guess what? Jon Snow is the king of Westeros, but he makes sure that each kingdom is separate. Sansa Stark takes control of Winterfell, and the kingdom is divided. And her daughter, he has a daughter. Daenerys was so injured that after the childbirth, she could not survive. But her daughter is Lyanna Targaryen, named after his own mother.
You have exceeded the time limit by 1 minute. So
Okay,
if you have
sorry.
something,
Yeah, done.
Done. You're done with it?
Yeah, the thing is, Game of Thrones has such a complicated plot. It needed a lot of time to like also make sense out of it.
Yeah, okay. So you took 1 minute, 15 seconds extra.
Okay.
But that's all right. So I won't ask you why did you ever wanted a different ending. How did you think all this through?
Yeah, countless sessions on Reddit at like 12 a.m. in the night with a bunch of angry Game of Thrones fan who just wanted a better ending.
How was that week when you saw Game of Thrones season 8? The week that went through traumatizing you with the season 8?
Yeah, I just lost faith in humanity then and there only.
Okay.
Like I just sort of like became like all nihilistic and some stuff. I was like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm wiping this off from my memory. Game of Thrones ended for me at season 7, and season 6 was the best season. So that's what I took back from the entire thing.
I think so the audience would agree if they wanted to. There's something for you. You remember season 8 in vivid detail.
Yeah, I had to do my research also, like for this thing. So I'm just saying that you guys made me sit through season 8 again for this. Thanks for the trauma.
If I would add something, I would like to say that, I think that this entire thing was thought through very well, and the fact that you just didn't change the ending in which Jon Snow kills Daenerys, and rather you changed the entire season, that was nice. And it was good to observe that all the character arcs were like complete in your story. Like we see Jaime's arc to be complete rather than what we saw in the original season. And I think, yeah, it was a great story.
Thank you.
So moving on to the next participant. Thank you, Ariman, for explaining it nicely. Vidhi Doshi for the kissing booth.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. Go on.
So as I was sitting right now, I was thinking I should leave law and start becoming a writer, because I remembered a lot of shows I want to change. Any which ways, hi, I'm Vidhi. I am much of a Netflix addict, as most of us, and yeah, so I really would like to change a lot of shows and stuff, but recently I saw Kissing Booth, and it gave me chills. As much as I liked the first two parts of the movie, the third part, oh god, just was bad. Um, it left me shocked, heartbroken, and in a really bad place. I probably cried over it for hours and hours together. So the movie is actually set in Los Angeles, where there's Elle Evans, a high schooler who's starting to transition into like early child adulthood and moving on to college, and she's joined by her best friend Lee Flynn and his brother, who is Noah Flynn. And yeah, so together they navigate through stuff, and whatever the first two parts of the movie were good, I would like to change stuff about it, but I'll be kind to them and I wouldn't touch it. So the second part of the movie, what happens is there's Marco, who's kind of like an add-on with Elle, and yeah, she kind of kisses him and stuff happens. I'll get to that later, but it's all fine and done till in the end of the movie they show that they get their college applications and they are waiting. So that's the base for the third part of the movie, where stuff changes. So in the yeah, so stuff change, and like there's too much of it complication there. So what happens is in the third part of the movie they show that Elle is confused between whether she wants to go to college with Lee or Noah, who's a boyfriend. So first of all, I would like to change the whole movie, but I'll change the first thing, which is they show that a best friend, the relationship with your best friend changes once you have a boyfriend, which doesn't happen. And like, even if there are small changes, you don't need to show that in a movie where I'm coming to just escape out of life and see something which is unrealistic. Yeah, so if the first thing I would change is that, showing that a relationship with your best friend wouldn't change. Also, I just a minute. Yeah. So if I could change that, because people do not want to see the exact reality. Adding on, I believe that it's not necessary that once you you are in a relationship, you put your boyfriend above your best friend. I know I'm getting too personal with this, but like I just felt this movie so personally. Elle could have gone to college with Lee, and that would be completely fine. But I'll come back to that point later on. So now coming to the most controversial topic, Marco. I completely agree and stand by how good looking and amazing he was. I completely personally loved him as well, but he should have had it. He should have controlled himself and known that since Elle was dating, he shouldn't have had a move on her, and should have completely respected the relationship she had with Noah and not interfered. And we would have probably respected him more and loved him more if he would have like believed that even if I like Elle, I'll like let her be with Noah, who she loved more. And I would have also liked if Marco and I remained friends for in the later part of the movie. Yeah. So in what change I would want that Noah and Elle fought for each other, and if they would have fought for each other, I guess there was a thing in me which said that they could have stayed together, and like they were really really cute. Yeah, so I really wish they could have fought for each other. And Noah used thing when they were breaking up, he used a point saying that he wanted Elle to do what she likes, which she could have done if even if they were in a relationship. So yeah, I thought that the reason for them breaking up was really 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 stupid. I'm sorry for using that word, but anyways. So they also show, Lee has a girlfriend called Rachel, and they break up not because, but like thinking that if Noah and Elle could not survive, even they might not, which they end up, in the later part of the movie. But like, you don't need to break up if your friend breaks up. It's chill, like it's fine if, and all relationships are not the same. So yeah, I completely understand why Noah did this, but he should have really, really supported Elle. And yeah, in the ending, they show that, Elle goes to a college which she wanted, not with, neither with Noah nor with Lee. I completely stand by this thing that, she chose what she wanted to do for herself. But like, rom-com lover like me, I really, really wish if, she had gone to college with Lee, and stuff with Noah would have remained the same. Like Noah and she could have continued dating like on a long distance thing, and she should have gone to college with Lee. Yeah. And at the end of the movie, they show 6 years down the line, Noah and Elle meeting at a carnival kind of thing, wherein both of them have moved on, and Noah is a lawyer and Elle is a successful game developer and stuff. Yeah, they show life's moved on and sucking reality, which I wish they did not show. And like a perfect ending, which I would have wanted, was Noah and Elle together, Lee and Rachel together, and Marco with his love interest, like sitting together at the end of the movie, having a conversation about how they were stupid, and how like earlier, they did stuff. And I just wanted them to be happy in their life, which they were, but I wanted them together. Yeah, I can actually continue going on ranting about this.
You have exceeded your time limit by 45 seconds right now.
I'm sorry. I can continue about this for hours, but I'll stop.
I really think so. You can go for like an hour or so. So
hour is also less. I think I can go on for days now.
Okay.
I cried a lot.
Oh my God. So this is how affectionate you are about the kissing booth. So the audience, I'll go back to the audience. How do you like her ending, or do you like the original one better? Anyone would like to speak up? Or I did in the chat box.
It was a spoiler for me, because I have seen in parts, or Abhi she told me ki kya hota hai.
It's fine.
I just love Marco. That's why I saw that
part is very bad. Third part
Don't
is
see
very
the
horrible.
third part. It's heartbreaking. As much as I love the first two parts,
I thought it was similar to. Acha, third part. I thought it was similar to All the Boys I Have Loved.
Yeah. So I fought with people saying that I like Kissing Booth 1 and 2 more than To All the Boys, but the third part of the second To All the Boys was much, much better than the third part of this one. So don't see the third part of Kissing Booth. Please don't. It's gonna be like a slap on your face.
Okay, we don't want anything of that sort. So, guys, do you want a different ending? You may write it in the chat box. We'll also love to know if you have something else in your mind. People like watching reality. Yeah, they do, but they want happy endings too. With his opinion, no one would ever want to watch part 3, but you should if you want a different ending running in your head too. Things would have been happy. So thank you, Vidhi. I'll be moving on to the next participant. That is Nishtha for Stranger Things.
Yeah, hi everyone. Firstly, apologies because I'll not be able to switch on my camera. I am facing some technical glitches. So should I start?
Okay, you should. Thank you.
Okay, so Stranger Things is basically science fiction based on in the city of Hawkins. So should I explain the story or should I just get back to the ending. Okay, fine. I'll just get back.
Yeah, you should do whatever you want. Whatever
Okay.
you have planned.
Okay, okay, fine. So rather than just changing the entire, the end, I would just like to add something to the end. It was you might remember that Elle was actually injured by the mind flyer, and she got a wound in her leg. And then she was at the mall where she was actually she used her powers to take the parasite off of her leg. But the twist is that the parasite stays inside her. And after a while, when she shifts to the other city with Joyce and Mike, Mike realizes that Elle, there's something fishy about Elle. And now that every time Mike is around Elle, he feels a strange sensation in his neck. And after a while, he gets to know that Elle is now possessed by the mind flyer. It's now that she's possessed, now they go back. They go back to the city of Hawkins in the forthcoming summer. And they go there where Mike actually follows Elle at night, and he finds out that Elle is going to the same mill where Billy went every time after he was possessed by the mind flyer. And that's how he gets to know that Elle is now possessed by the mind flyer, and now she has lost all of her memories, and the only way that she can get back her memories is by finding a substitute to Elle, or rather I should say a person similar to Elle, which is 9. Now for the next season, the hunt goes for searching for 9. That is all I had to add.
Okay, so you were well versed with the time limit. Thank you for the ending. I would like to ask, why did you choose such an ending? If something comes to your mind.
It's because I don't like the character Elle, because she takes away the entire spotlight of the show, and it's kind of injustice to the other characters. That is what I feel. So that's why I chose to do this, so that they can get a new a new character, or can focus more on other characters like Max, Mike, Dustin, and great character Dustin. So yeah, that's why I did it.
Okay, so thank you. And
What-
the audience. Yes, Sakshi.
Did she say, my net was good. Did she say anything about Harper? His name was that only, no? Hopper. Yes. Did she say anything about Hopper? Yeah, Hopper had a good ending in season 3 or 4 जो भी last था. Why did they bring him back? He had his goodbye. अभी तो वो feeling ही चला गया ना. I cried. I literally cried so much. Hopper died, and then he came back. Why? That was the whole point. मुझे
Yeah, that is something even I felt that वो होना नहीं चाहिए था. Actually वहाँ पे Hopper should have died, but
yes. We are sad ending gang, not happy ending. That इसीलिए I didn't like it, the Vampire Diaries. उसमें कोई भी मरता था and they came back. No perfect goodbyes, किसी का नहीं. They died and they came back.
Okay, so you should have also participated. बहुत सारी endings है तेरे पास. So moving on to the next participant, Astha Singh for Chehre.
Hi guys, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, so my name is Astha Singh and I chose Chehre. It recently aired on Amazon Prime and I hope you guys have watched it. It has actors like Amitabh Bachchan, Imran Hashmi, etc. And it basically, this movie, I guess I'm the only one who's doing a Bollywood film here. And this movie basically has a legal background attached to it. What they have shown is there are 2-3 lawyers that have come together, a judge, there's an executioner, you know, who hangs people, and there's like a criminal who's serving, who's basically a servant there, and his mentally unstable sister. All these people are like living in a bungalow, like a wooden bungalow in like amidst the snowy mountains of India. And it's like a perfect thriller. The plot is like pretty nice. And what happens is a stranger's car, like regularly what happens is a stranger's car comes, it stops working, and the strangers enter into the house of another group of strangers, and they just like spend an evening together, and we all know how it's going to go down. So it's like a perfect thriller from the start till the end, but the end 15 minutes ruin the whole movie. So what happens is when Imran Hashmi walks into this house, the main purpose of this group of people is that they have their own courtroom kind of a thing, where everyone that walks in their house, it's their job, it's the judge's job and the lawyer's job to give these people justice or the punishment, which the Indian court didn't give. They take it upon their hands to give them justice or punishment. So when Imran Hashmi enters, they spend a nice evening together, they have a few drinks, and by evening they start playing a game, the courtroom drama that I just said. They find out that Imran Hashmi is the one who's guilty, and because he has an affair with his boss's wife. So the boss's wife and Imran, they both get together and then they kill the boss. So that's the crime he has committed, for which he should get a punishment. And they literally have very chilling scenes and dialogues in which they literally show the executioner with like a Fasi ka fanda and stuff. So basically we expected a really nice Bollywood ending to this movie, and it had accelerated well, but it did not end well. In the end, what happens is he just randomly runs out of the house, and he runs and he just falls off a cliff and dies. So what was the point of making this whole thriller when he had to die of natural causes? Divine justice is not the ending that we expected. And I'm sorry, but karma is never the ending that should be given to any thriller in the world, right? So what, according to me, the ending should have been, he and his girlfriend, the illegitimate girlfriend, were also both responsible for the crime, right? So she should have been called, because she should have been called to this bungalow, and obviously she would show up because this lawyers and judges are involved. She would show up. And once she showed up, they could have opened the doors and given them the warm welcome that these guys give to every stranger that walks into their house. And then they could have closed the doors, and what happens next should have been for the audience and the viewers to decide. Right. And in the start of the film, there is a scene in which Imran Hashmi walks in because his clothes are all dirty by the snow. He asks for a fresh pair of pants. He goes up the room and he wears this new fresh pair of pants. He comes down and he asks Amitabh Bachchan that whose pants these are. And Amitabh Bachchan tells him that these pants are of a minister who was staying here last month. And we all in the back of our mind know how Indian ministers are. And obviously we assume that what happened to that minister was given a punishment, and he actually never actually walked out of the house. And these clothes were of a dead who died because these guys gave them punishment. So it was building very nicely. And I guess what they could have shown is like the girlfriend walking in the house, the door shutting, and then they are not showing what happens next. The viewers get to decide that. Then the final scene could have been a couple passing the same bungalow after like a month or something, and there also car breaks down, and then they enter the bungalow again, and they are again welcomed with the warm smile by all this group of people. And obviously they go to the room to change their clothes. And mind you, in this full film, all the characters are wearing the same clothes from the start till the end. So obviously it's registered in the mind of the viewers. So we remember whose clothes was what. So the couple goes in, they are given the same clothes that Imran Hashmi and his girlfriend wore in the whole film, and then they wear this fresh pair of clothes, and they come down and they repeat and ask the same question, that whose clothes are these. And then Amitabh Bachchan tells them that, oh, this is of a couple who stayed here last month. So, it could have been an open ending to the movie. Okay, har baar a new couple is coming, and always they are wearing the clothes of the people who were staying back then. So it would have been a nice, open and dignified ending that this thriller deserved, instead of him dying of natural causes by, falling off the cliff. So yeah, this is what I think should have been the ending.
Okay. Well prepared. Now, how was your performance? The audience will get to decide, like your endings. So, how did you think about it? I would like to know.
You're asking me?
Yeah. You, obviously, you were the performer.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question?
How did you think this through all the endings? Yeah,
because see, I watch a lot of thrillers and I really like watching thrillers, and that's my coping mechanism. And what I feel was that you cannot show karma as an ending of a thriller. It was very stupid. And there was a scene in the start in which Imran Hashmi is asking the same thing कि ये किसके कपड़े हैं. So they could have ended and it would have made sense if they showed this exact ending कि हाँ फिर another couple is asking कि ये किसके कपड़े हैं. So what it would be like, everyone comes over here but they never leave. The only thing that's there are their clothes. Yeah.
Obsessed with clothes. Okay.
Yeah.
So audience, anything to add up or any suggestions?
Can I say something again?
Yeah, you are allowed to.
So after hearing thriller movies and Amitabh Bachchan, I just remembered Badla movie. I was so hyped up for it. And last में what was it? एक मुखौटा लगा के he came into the movie. कुछ भी. Similarly, वैसे ही ऐसे. Amitabh Bachchan is such a great actor, but thriller में what he's doing, I don't know. Sorry guys if you're offended. Who loves Amitabh Bachchan?
Okay, so here we are done with all our participants. I would like Ghazal, head of the publications committee, to speak a few words. If she's here.
Hi. Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Hey Ghazal. So yeah, we can.
Okay. Thank you so much for having us. Thank you for collaborating with us. It was a great event. Loved a lot of these endings. And we're going to probably choose a top 3 to feature in Sol Chronicles, which is our intra publication for people of Sol to contribute to, which should probably come out in November or December. And I'm really excited for everyone who participated, and I hope it goes on there. So thank you so much for having me, and it was a wonderful time. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much, Ghazal. And so I hope you guys like the event, or any suggestions you had, or different endings for different shows. I would love to hear them all. So
Just went out. Any show, any movie, just went out. We have like 10 minutes. जितना went out करने का.
we all have some big watchers here, especially Sakshi. She has seen all the shows, so you could go on and on with her. Yeah, Ariman.
Yeah,
Want
we
to
could.
continue with your GOT speech?
Yeah, like I was saying, like we could do this more often. Like we could do a podcast sort of thing with sort of
Yes,
this.
yeah. These types of events are coming out every month. If you like,
yes.
Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed our event. So please do participate in every event then, our event. Venting out from
definitely.
all the,
If any of you have any questions, please feel free to ask us. Our lovely host will be quite happy to answer all of them for you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I do see a couple hands raised.
Yeah.
Ambika?
Actually, I don't have a question. I just wanted to tell you guys a different ending, but I think we are short on time, so.
No, we are not short of time. Please do that.
Yes, as long as it is 2 minutes, you can go ahead.
So, it's about the show is called Fleabag, and it's on Amazon Prime. Yeah, it's a very nice
Here
show.
I am. I have watched it. We can discuss this if nobody else has.
Yeah. So in the end, she showed such a beautiful character development, and in the end, when the priest said it will pass. Okay, so that was everything for me. But they did not end up together, which almost broke my heart. So I guess I want to change that. Yeah.
To what? Change that.
I love that because they didn't end up together.
Yeah, I wanted both of them to end up together. The priest and Fleabag. And also I wanted her to have a more meaningful relationship with her father. Like she was not so close. Like she wanted to be with her father, but her father was not paying much attention to her.
Yeah, she was.
I think about Fleabag, we can agree on one point, is that Fleabag as a character was a very good, very well portrayed character, but Fleabag as a whole series was a very disturbing bunch of storylines coming all together, and just each and every episode telling us, why this way, man? Could you not have thought in another way? Because they're acting so well.
Actually, I disagree with you. Chandrendra, I disagree with you completely. I really liked it.
You liked the whole
I did.
show?
I think it was genius. Fully. Yeah, I mean, except for the ending, it was sad, but like it's a fully very real ending.
it's a comedy, right? So if you end a comedy on a
Is
sad
We did a
note,
comedy, I
Is
feel.
it a comedy?
it's not a tragedy. It's not a
Classified
tragedy.
as?
But it was, wasn't it?
I mean, it was a tragedy to comedy. That's all I
Don't
can
do
say.
it. Don't do it.
Yeah, but okay. Yeah.
I'm getting too excited.
Is there anybody here who has watched this show called I don't exactly remember the name. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia or something on the grounds. Has anybody watched that?
No, I don't.
Anybody
think
watch Seinfeld? Anybody watch Seinfeld? I mean, which is the precursor to Friends? Nobody's
Don't
watched. Oh my god.
Yes, of course.
Is there anybody who'd like to have a change, different ending for Friends?
I would like a different ending for Friends.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
As much as I love it, I would love if there was some closure. Like,
And
you
if they
know,
did not
You mean closure?
Yeah, chalega, they went, kept the keys. What else do you want?
no, I did not want Rachel to go to Paris. And like, yeah, I agree,
came
Ross.
back
And
for-
like,
But she didn't.
Rachel didn't go to Paris.
She did not go.
Case ka
Yeah,
last
you
mein
are
charge
in-
mein
Should have gone. No, I'm saying she should have gone to Paris.
What is
Same,
wrong with
same,
you,
same.
Agriti?
Oh.
Okay, see,
Nahin,
I'm
same.
all
I
for
also agree.
I'm all
But
for
you
the
were
whole
doing it wrong.
this. No, I'm all for the whole airport thing and running and everything. But she got an amazing job opportunity. That's how she started in the show. She was not independent at all. She was dependent on her parents. She did everything for like everyone else. So finally getting a job.
That
How
was
am I
her
relating to
choice
Rachel
to
at
make.
all?
I think I
That
think
was her choice to
Akriti.
make.
Sorry, Akriti. I'm really sorry.
no.
But
I think I can explain this. Has anybody here watched Love Aajkal 1?
Yes.
yeah, I have.
So they kind of show you what happens if Rachel takes the flight, which is what Saif Ali Khan does in the movie. He takes the flight, and finally what happens? He comes back. So Akriti,
so
does your point stand?
See, yeah, if Rachel went, she would have got so much more experience. She wouldn't be going back to Ross, not having changed anything at all. They did not develop as people as much as she could have if she went to Paris. And then come back for
Universe
Ross.
is down
I'm
and
all
he
cool
will
for
not
that.
for
develop.
You know that for
Universe
sure.
is down, the man
I
did not
know
develop.
for
Are you sure?
Paris जाके वो रॉस के लिए क्यों आई?
Exact. And then there is that. Why did she come back for Ross? Like out of
Yeah,
everything
no,
you
no, no,
can
no.
has a point.
Back to Ross.
Why did she come
Then
back?
that moment was good, but Paris Jana is not that good. I don't go with that ending. Sorry. Ashna
How
wanted
is
to
she
let us think
how is she so sure that her relationship would have worked the 100th time around with Ross? Like, how is she?
Have you seen the show? There was
How
always
Yes,
you so
multiple
if she had
times.
gone to Paris, she would have developed as a character and been like, wow, this is the best.
She would
version
have
of
gotten a
myself.
fabulous job. That is what she was dreaming about
Fabulous
forever.
job in New York. It's New
Same
York.
Did she? Did she have a job in New York? I don't remember this part, so I'm actually asking.
Of course she did. But oh, come on. You've not seen
Coffee
it.
shop.
One from Mars?
The coffee shop.
Let
Coffee
Ashna
shop.
speak
Then
to-
Not
at
the coffee
Ralph
shop.
Lauren.
She should
Then
totally have gone for the
before at
coffee shop
Bloomingdale.
job.
After the coffee shop, she went to the Bloomingdale. Then she went on to Ralph Lauren.
So she would rather
Yeah.
take a step back in her career and go back to the guy who apparently was on a break with her and then had went to the yeah, I'm so very, very emotive about this.
I get your point.
Nice, well done.
See, going back to the guy
Your
sounds
ending is
so...
like what you just said.
Guys, one thing, people are leaving. We have to take one screenshot for
No,
our
please
story.
don't leave, guys.
Okay, yes, we are drowning. so
Please
much into
don't
this.
leave. Please, switch on your cameras. We'll take one
अब पहले let
screenshot.
Ashna speak. वो तब से wait कर रही है यार.
Okay,
No,
so
we
you
first
can
we
speak.
first
Or we
take
can
the
take a
screenshot.
screenshot.
We'll take a screenshot. Screenshot takes a second. Yashna, really sorry.
Yash, are you taking the screenshot? कौन ले रहा है?
Yeah,
Because
Can
don't know
somebody
how
do
to-
video participants only and
do
then
this,
take the
yeah,
screenshot?
Yeah, I'm doing that. I'm
Now,
doing
could
that.
you please switch on your videos, everyone?
Yeah.
Anika, Pearl.
और प्लीज पिक्चर लेने के पहले 1 2 3 काउंट डाउन देना.
Hmm.
1, 2. Got it.
Yeah, got it too. Thank you.
Okay, before everybody leaves, we have something else to do. Please don't leave, audience. The event is not yet over.
Yes.
We're going to be sharing a voting form. I hope all the participants are here. We're going to be sharing a voting form in the chat window here, and I request everybody here to switch on to the log on to the form and vote for the person who you think has done the best. The top 3 performances from today are going to get printed, going to get featured on the Sol Chronicles this month's version. So if Sakshi, if you can send the link, or if somebody can send the link, please go ahead and please vote. We'll keep it open for the next 5 minutes and then we'll close it. And we will let you know who the top 3 are. We're not going to be disclosing it right now. Let us take the votes in, and it's going to take a little bit of time for us to process. So we'll let you know later on.
In the meantime, guys, please do follow Meraki's Instagram page and the YouTube channel. And follow us on Twitter too.
And please keep a check on our YouTube channel. There's something that we call as the Meraki Unscripted. And we're trying to have all the performances that we see today up on our YouTube channel. So please just stay tuned to see yourself feature on our YouTube channel.
Okay.